Welcome to Start Building Me? The wrong way around. Folks, welcome to Start Building Me, my daily training session, because we have to train every day whether you like it or not. Now, the best thing is, folks, it's quick, easy, free, all words that you never hear in life. So if you come in here, you catch these videos, you see me dancing around like the monkey dance, It's here because I'm trying to improve your life in the only way that I know how, which is with exercise, folks. It truly is a panacea for me to improve my mental health, my well-being, reduce the amount of trips I go to the doctor, improve my immunity, improve my digestion, improve my sleep. Everything about exercise is essential. There's no cutting corners, and that's why it's so revered, right? People look at, oh, I'm going to turn that mic down a bit, or maybe I'm just blasting because I'm excited. Okay, I'll just maybe keep it like that for the time being. Look, you've got to exercise, folks. There's no ifs, no buts, but like I said, you don't have to go for broke. You don't have to listen to all those crazy slogans and buy fancy spandex clothes and elixirs and gym memberships or anything like that. You just have to put in the time and train, right? So I come in here and I teach at this time of the day, which is 10 o'clock in the morning in the UK, 7 o'clock here at night, a jazz as always. And you can't beat squats, folks. As I say, for the amount of times we do squat here, you basically double that, and that's the amount of exertion that you're going to get from walking. What is a squat, you ask? Something that you do every day. So whether you're consciously competent or unconsciously incompetent, you know how to sit down and stand up. And look at me, terrible form, trying to tell people about the importance of squatting, and I've got terrible posture. So I'll try and do it a little bit better. I usually do it from the side on because, okay, the importance of showing it from the front is that I'm always explaining to people to put the weight to the outside of your feet, because if you don't, your knees sort of do that, and that's where you'll damage your knees, you'll damage your back, you'll damage your hips. Sally Star Jump in the house. I think I can guess who that is with the most in UK presently. Jazz size. Old Sal, Jesus and the Beebs are over on the tour of the UK, the sunny British Isles. Now, I digress. Weight goes down, weight goes up. Stand a little bit wider if you want to keep your back straighter. Weight goes down, weight goes up. Weight goes down, weight goes up. Light goes on, light goes off. So Homer Simpson stuff, folks. And breathe. Breathe in. So many different ways you can do it, but ultimately you want to breathe in, sit down, and stand back up. So whatever cadence you have, cadence meaning rhythm, whatever rhythm you want, it doesn't matter. Whatever works for you, folks. We're all different. I used to think that that was a meme and not true, but we are in fact all different. What works for one person isn't necessarily what works for the other. So with 3 minutes 50 on the clock, it's not sunny. Awesome. I'll turn that down. It's my mic blasting. A little bit down. It's not going to peak there. It looks a little bit better. It probably was clipping out. Yeah, I love you guys as well. It's awesome to have the people watch me dance. Dance, monkey, dance. Anyway, it's Friday, folks. Get excited. I know I am, even though, you know, why is that clipping so much? Maybe it's just me being really loud. I'll keep it down, ASMR style. And make sure that my headroom's not clipping, so it totally is. That's doing my head in. I'm just gonna switch that, else you know me, I'm gonna be sitting there watching it the whole damn time. So we're gonna bring down that. Let's try that. I'm sick of seeing that stuff clip. You'll still be able to hear it. You might have to adjust your sound slightly. And let's bust out 10 and then I'll have a break. One, maybe a bit wider, keep my back straighter, really wide, sumo stance. So my back is going to be more perpendicular to the ground, folks. which is not a bad thing. You don't want your back to pendulum out too much, but I'm not a form stickler, so whatever you do to get the repetition is what we're after, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Doing 10 of those in one sitting, congratulations, you're probably in the top 1 percentile in the world's exercise, folks. People do not do any exercise at all, and that's why I'm encouraging people to do the bare minimum, because the bare minimum, statistically, from the healthcare data that I normally look at over my career, the bare minimum is so much more than people normally do. So if you come across this video and you're like, nah, he's talking that smack talk, I'm not going to look like him if I just do this. Yeah, you're not, because I train every day and have since I was like an 8-year-old boy. But that's not going to stop you improving your life in a million different ways by doing this. And we did a few push-ups yesterday. I used to go into the push-ups a lot more for Start Building Me, but it's really important, folks, just to pump the prime movers. You've got your quadriceps, your hamstrings, your glutes, and your lower back, right? Oh yeah, awesome. And you just really want to think of yourself like a bike pump. You're just inflating yourself every day, letting that blood shunt or pump into your muscles, gets your heart rate up, gets you reoxygenating that blood. All good things, folks. And now I don't have my watch on me right now, but I can tell my heart rate's up because I'm wheezing. I'm dying here, people. Just joking, I'm certainly not. But look, it's like for me, 7 o'clock, Friday afternoon, had a good chat with good old Dr. Simpson, which was good. I love having a good chat with him. Jazz has been chilling and had a good week. Obviously, Ben and I have been talking about business all week, which is quality. And Sal, over in the UK, I hope you're surviving family stuff. I know how much you love that. So, and hopefully little Beebs is okay. Hopefully you're watching, Phoebe. I love you, you're the best. You're certainly one of the most inspiring and entertaining things in my life, that's for sure. And a picture that I sent to Ben, which is the picture where she took control of your illustration pen and went to town on her face, which is what I love, sitting next to and working to that picture all day. So with that, getting all nostalgic and gushy here, let's try and bust out some squats, folks. 3, let's say, or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Never forgetting the weight's going to the outside of your feet. Look at my dirty feet from my dirty garage. It's disgusting. You know what they say about men with dirty feet? I have no idea actually, but you can imagine. Anyway, you've got an arch there because it doesn't come in contact with the ground. So line up your toes. The weight's going to the outside of your feet. Sitting, yeah, totally. It's good, mate. It's as Ben was saying, Sal, his little sister Shell has some kids, and it's certainly something that's inspiring and to live for, to have siblings that have kids. There's no doubt about it. She's truly a character to hang out with, the little Beebinator. Quality kid. So, weight's going to the outside of the feet so you don't bust up your knees. Sitting back into your heels, everything that you got to focus with that will, over time, that level of conscious competence where all of the bits and pieces will coordinate, which is what we're trying to do. Weight to the outside of the feet, sitting back into your heels. Stand a bit wider if you want your back to go down straighter. If I don't, I usually have my back sort of lean forward because I've got bad posture. So the way to combat is to stand wider. The weight's still going to the outside of your feet, and don't forget you're only going to the parallel, so your femur's only going parallel to the ground. You don't have to go deeper than that. You don't have to really go down into a deep squat. I'm shifting around my mat here. You see, I'm not a form stickler, but I'm a studio stickler. There's something that's slightly out of place, and I'm like the Prince, Dave Chappelle. I can't focus on anything apart from something that's irritating me. So I'll try and stay focused, and we'll try and bust out some squats. How about that? That's what I'm here for. Is dancing and squatting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to keep on going, because when I'm getting to this bottom position now, I'm getting that awesome slingshot action from my butt. So when I get down to here, I feel some tension right here in the bottom of my butt, and it's pulling me back up. That's a feeling that you want to, it's a feeling that you want to try and get by improving your technique over time. You go down, you feel that muscle right there at the bottom of your butt loading up, and then you'll feel the tension in it will be lifting you back up. And that's when you know you're really getting that technique down. And then I'll take a break, because my short shorts is cutting off the circulation to my brain, man. Getting all woozy and dizzy. As I do more exercise, all my gym shorts are getting tighter. And I'm walking through Big W, I'm like, $8? I'm not made of $8 shorts. And because of good old inflation, there's not that many on the rack at the moment anyway. So I'm just gonna, in the end, just gonna have these, you get those sort of muffin top. It's just gonna be like legs sticking out of tight shorts. I just have to start wearing my tracksuit pants. But it's getting hot here, folks. It's 2 days of storming in Townsville just before it starts going up 32, 33 degrees. So this is like the midnight run, last section of the year, where before it starts hammering down and we get that monsoon season, it's just boiling hot. So I'm not looking forward to that. Take a bit of time off flying so I don't have to pay $400 an hour to sit on the apron at the airport and sweat my you-know-whats off. It's certainly not worth it. Feel the burn here in the UK, that's awesome. Rachel as well, sweet. It's so I guess you're Norwich way. That's awesome. Well, I wish I was there, I really do, but as I've explained to Jared and Ben, as you know, I'm kind of stuck where I am for the time being, and that's why, hey, dance, monkey boy, dance, and do some more squats. Get that rhythm, really grease that groove, like Ben used the term the other day. Really make sure that, folks, this is second nature. My goodness, supporting yourself under gravity, folks. You just got to do it, and why not do it proficiently instead? Instead of just struggling through life, as I explained, Sal, it's like, most people are like those goats and stuff. They're those little figurines, and you stick your finger in the bottom and they just sort of collapse on themselves, and then elastic bands, when you release it, sort of makes them stand back up. That's what most people are like. But you want to be a little bit more coordinated, folks. When you sit down, you want to have everything coordinated. And that will make you avoid injury. It will make you be more efficient with how your muscles work. So, all good things, folks. And never forget, what I'm doing here is excessive. Just try one. And think of the mindfulness of it. Kick back, shift. Can I line up my feet like Dave has here on the mat? Looking straight, arms coming out as a counterbalance. And take a load off. Breathe. Still free for the time being. Not for long, folks. They're going to charge you for that soon. I'm right. It's going to be, I don't know, $20 a breath, probably. Now, I'm not really lined up with the camera there. That's more centered, even though I'm not centered here in my studio. Anyway, I'm centered from doing exercise, folks. That's more important. I'm centered from doing exercise, the panacea for living healthy. And don't be daunted by it. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, They're like, I got to exercise because I want to look this way because that's what the media wants me to look like. Folks, it's a terrible, forget everyone else. As I always say here on Start Building Me, we're competing with ourselves and our performance yesterday. So if you've done one squat today and you didn't do one yesterday, awesome, you're ahead, right? Just like everything, including my good sister, has told me over time, especially with something like sobriety, not drinking, it's a scatter plot. So it's not a perfect upwards trajectory over time, but you know, there'll be some rise and falls along the way. So sometimes you're not going to come here and train. Disgusting, I know, you should flail yourself for not having the time to come out and hang out with Dave and Start Building Me. But, you know, life gets in the way. People have, you know, apparently, you know, obligations that they've got to do stuff, you know. I'll take their word for it. But if you can't get it through your tiny brain that you've got to do this, you know, 3, 4, 5, stand up at your desk at office, stand up in front of your class and, you know, let them know who's boss whilst looking all of them in their eyes, you know, and doing your squats. Just pump the blood around your body, folks. You'll feel better for it. And, you know, another thing worse than Welsh weather is a Welsh word. Klingon. You guys even have different street signs. I like it. I like the sound of Welsh. The only time I didn't like the sound of Welsh is when you're trying to explain to Welsh people in pubs that you couldn't be drunk legally in a pub in Australia. So you've got these massive Welsh rugby players there, and you're going up to them, you know, watching Premier League, you know, running there after training like, bros, you know, thanks for coming, you've had a good night, but you're drunk in a pub now, you got to go out. And they're like, fight? And you're like, no. I don't want to fight you. I'm just saying you can't be drunk in a pub. And they're just like, fight? Like that. It's just like, I know it sounds BS, but you can't be drunk in a pub. And but that's why we came here. And you're like, I know, it sounds like a scam, and it is. The Australian government loves scams. The current Australian government scam is that a woman that was in a committee in Victoria against organised crime ended up being the partner of the Rebels MCs, Australia's biggest motorcycle gangs, chapter president in Victoria. So that's the level of corruption we're dealing with here, folks. Anyway, I digress. Let's do some squats and we'll call it a night. Hopefully you guys have some good stuff planned for the weekend. I've been tinkering with my Beetle. The Beetle's kicking ass. Rain subsided, so the lads will be back on the trail tomorrow. Doing a bit of dirt biking, rebuilding that bike. Townsville and Garage is coming along. Yeah, mate, it was, they couldn't get their head around it, but I was just like, look, I know it sounds crazy that you can't be drunk in a pub, but that's exactly our crazy laws and our levels of corruption. I'm going to hit myself with the Theragun whilst watching Premier League this evening. The repeats that I haven't seen due to the untimely death of old Queen Lizzie. Rest in peace. You know, whatever, gang, throw your gang signs up for Queen Lizzie. She would have done it for us, right? Not. Anyway, I'm going to be watching Premier League, using the Theragun, nailing things that get tight for me in squats, which I'll point out now. You might notice you'll get tight hip flexors, which is just a coordination thing. So you can get one of the Theraguns or one of the imitation ones that are basically the same thing, and you can really nail the muscles, not the tendons. The muscles that lead right up there that will relax you. I also find the top of my glutes and the side of my glutes get hammered as well. NBA. No boys allowed, that's what I usually call it for the dogs when they're punished. NBA. What game? Maybe what's the gambling community need to know here, Jared? Maybe I should be having to check out this game as well. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Man, that's some good tension I've got there in the glutes. Folks, this is an amazing exercise. You go to the gym and you see people walking on the treadmill, God bless their souls, and I'm not having a go at people that do that. But you can just do this, what I'm doing now, and get legs that don't fit in Big W shorts or Kmart shorts like me. Like, what else do you want? All these people are spending a fortune on these massive dump truck style butts these days to look like the Kardashians. This is how you get one, folks, without getting a surgical procedure. I couldn't believe it, called the Brazilian butt lift. Now, you could just be Brazilian genetically and do what they do, which is like a lot of sport and exercise, or you can get a surgical procedure to make your butt look like the biggest moon of Endor or Jupiter or whatever. That's it. Twerking. My butt moves a bit. That's pretty funny. It just reminds me of a Juicy J lyric. I can't really remember it now, so I'll squat and count. Oh, I remember it. I'm trying to keep this channel PG, so I'm not going to quote Juicy J, but the song is called Bands Make a Dance. Bands make a dance. 3 or 4, 5, 6. I'll stand wider. 7, 8, 9, 10. And how do I know it's working, folks? Smell of love, baby. It's just I've got to have a shower and yeah, I got to start twerking as well. Somebody was I was actually on the new Beavis and Butthead. Is one of the techniques that they're doing it. You like, it doesn't work. I've got some coin in my pocket. You're rotating your thighs, and that makes your butt shake. So it's like, you know, I don't know, Rizzlers like us, it's sort of a hard concept to sort of get your head around, you know, let alone Sal, you know what I mean? We're just like twiglets, so it's not going to be something that we can quite get our heads around. And thank goodness. Nothing against people with enormous rear ends, but like I said, life is easier, I'd say, without carrying so much junk in the trunk. But like I said, to each their own. And if you want to get more mass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I might go to the driving range this week, head down, weight from the front of the foot to the back of the foot and to the front of the foot and twist. Nice relaxed swing through. Oh man, looking forward to a shower just so I don't have to smell my own smell anymore. And that should be exciting. Have a breather for a sec. We've got 25 minutes on the clock. I'm going to be here for 30 just because, like I said, I was just, bands make a dance. Bands make a dance. Just walking around the garage, working on my car, and he was on one. He was having a good time. And what did I do today? Not much. I had a bit of a snooze. I walked Freckles, my neighbour Faye. She's 82. She's got a little Jack Russell, so I took Freckles for a little bit of a strut around the town. And it's awesome. You walk Freckles, who's like next door to my house, and you're walking him past my house's front lawn, and you just hear Keith losing it, because he sees me and Freckles walking across the lawn, and then he hits a certain frequency that triggers Dale, and then Dale starts going, roo, roo, and then Keith starts howling with him, roo. They're both yodeling their heads off, and you're walking down around the corner and you still hear them going off. It's quite funny, they're mental cases. Like they always say, it's a reflection of the people who own the dogs, so it makes perfect sense. Yeah, traitor, that's exactly what's going through his head. So we've still got 5 minutes on the clock, folks. Do some head circles. Do some wrist circles, some calisthenics, grind all that calcium and garbage, gristle off the bones, run into everything nice and smoothly through the shoulder joints. Oh, the opposite, like I always used to say on Start Building Me, we go fetal over time, so you want to do the opposite of that. And don't wrench yourself and don't force yourself out, just, you know, nice and gentle circles, lean back against the gravity, what you're doing, and really, you know, look after your body, folks. Like, you know, as somebody who's thrashed himself without thinking of longevity now, the fact that, you know, through all my scans and, you know, diagnostics that I do for work and personally, everything's in good nick, and it's never too late. There's you've just got to stay alive as long enough for technology to catch up, and like I said, Start Building Me will end up being Keep Building Me, and I'll have all kinds of tips and tricks for rejuvenating yourself, supplements to take, exercises to do, remedies like that, because like I said, I'm a very pragmatic person. I only do what works, else I wouldn't be shilling it to you folks. I would be telling some BS to try and sell you something, but the beauty is you don't need to buy anything. I don't need to sell you anything apart from get you to watch these videos and be like, oh God, every time I see Start Building Me is now streaming, folks. If you're watching this on repeat later or you're watching it now live, don't have to come and watch me, but I love it because, you know, a clown's only a clown with an audience, like they say, and the bigger audience I have here online, I've got no shame, baby. Woo, yeah, baby. I don't care. So it's just like, come and watch it out. Tell anybody that's a lazy, doughy person to come here and, you know, train with Dave on Start Building Me. It will improve their life. I know for a fact, you know, it's like Professor Steve Simpson said, you can't argue with it, because it's a fact. Everybody that I've trained with has gone on to conquer worlds, folks. But usually, really, more than anything, they've just gone ahead to improve their self-esteem and look good in the process, which is an ancillary effect to training. So 27 minutes on the clock. Like I said, crack your neck a bit, crack your fingers, do a few more squats, and then go back to your day. 2, 3, 4. Sitting back into your heels. 5, 6, 7. I'm going to stand wider to keep my back straighter. 8, 9, 10. Feels good. I downloaded the Goonies. I'm going to watch the Goonies again. Second time I've seen this year. It's my favorite 80s movies, one of my favorite movies of all time. I was just watching an interview this morning from the 80s about Jeff Cohen, who plays Chunk, and he did a few movies up until like the 90s, and then the producer Jeff something was so impressed with his application to go to uni to become a crack your fingers, crack your neck, don't try and censor me on this. Yeah, so the producer of the Goonies was so impressed with his application that he helped him with his application and then paid for his tuition. So Chunk became a lawyer, you know, and thought that was a cool story. So I'm going to watch it again because I love the Goonies. Brad, what's he called? Brolin, Josh Brolin. When I realized it was him, I was like, oh yeah, man, what an awesome actor. Look, quick, I digress. 1 minute left on the clock, folks. So 1 minute, see what you've got. 1, 2, and don't forget, folks, really make it count. This is the only exercise you have to do during the day. And if you do this, folks, you don't have to do anything else. You're pumping the biggest muscles in your body. These muscles are pumping blood all around your body into your brain, folks. Your brain needs 35 minutes of intermediate level exercise. That means 120 to 140. Oh, I think my camera died. Oh no, it's back on. Or maybe I'm just losing my mind. Did that flash, or is my brain operating anymore? Is this just me glitching out? Anyway, 15 seconds left. Go for broke. I'm going to do another 5, and then go back to your own devices and chill out, folks, and have a great weekend. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back on Sunday. I'm doing this every day. Yeah, Josh Brolin also. Oh, he is in June as well. I rewatched that as well, and that was worth it. It's a very, very cool movie. Look, folks, 30 minutes. Didn't see any camera issues. Cool. It's just my brain glitching out. There's no surprises there, folks. You know, it's zapping 24/7. Have a great weekend, dudes, for sure. If you're here, if you're here. If you're not, have a good weekend, and love you all. And I'll speak to you soon. Anybody else here in the Start Building Me world, keep on coming back, like and subscribe. And the more you hear, the more you'll know. Have a good one, folks. Take it easy.